and welcome to the Boys Upstairs Show. This is the Conference Championship Show.
Woo!
So this week we have the Ravens and the Chiefs and the AFC. Ravens are the home team. They're minus 3.5. Total's 44.5. Nickson is a Ravens fan. We will give it to him.
I think ultimately this game is going to be decided in the trenches and on the defensive side of the ball, very specifically. I feel like both teams have very good defenses, and I think I trust our defense a little bit more than theirs because we've seen a lot of great offenses, especially in that last stretch of the year where we were playing Rams and turn around, play the Dolphins, and you turn around, you play the Niners. Like we've played some teams with a lot of talent. So I think that even with a guy as elite and as, like I was saying before the show, I call him the Grim Reaper. Like it almost feels like when you're playing against him, it's like, oh, this guy's he's gonna fucking do some shit again or whatever. Like, but I don't know, man. Like when those 2001 Ravens defenses, like I didn't get to see that. I've only seen highlights of that shit. But like from what I've seen in highlights, like this defense seems very similar to that dominant defense. So it's hard for me. It would be hard for me, even as a neutral fan, to bet against a defense as good as ours. And take that also into consideration. Like we haven't seen a defense as good in decades, statistically.
I agree that the Ravens defense is really good. The Ravens probably on paper are a better overall team than the Kansas City Chiefs, but Kansas City Chiefs have Patrick Mahomes, which, everybody's sucking them all up and down on TV this week, and it has been for years. That's rightfully so. It is. He's really good, especially when it counts, and that's why everybody fears him, especially in the playoffs. This is the first time that the Ravens, in the history of the Ravens organization, have ever had an AFC championship game at home. I think that that's going to be a big deal. The fans are going to be turned up. Baltimore's very, very good stadium as far as atmosphere goes. And I respect the fuck out of the Baltimore fans. And I think that they're going to be very excited. I know that Nickson's excited. And the main point for this week, like I said last week, is Lamar. This is the ultimate legacy game for Lamar. If Lamar wins this game, then we're going to have a different view of Lamar than we do right now. He doesn't have that signature playoff win that, you think of when you think of an elite quarterback or a quarterback that's capable of taking a team to a Super Bowl. And if he beats Patrick Mahomes in the AFC Championship game, that is a legacy playoff win. And we will look at him differently. Even if they lose the Super Bowl, we will look at him differently next playoffs and the playoffs going forward. So I think that this is a huge game for Lamar. Like I said in the intro, 3.5 is like the worst number you could possibly see, and we got to pick spreads. So I'm taking the Chiefs plus 3.5 because I think this is probably going to end up being a 3-point game. It just seems like the end of the game is going to be a field goal to win it, either Justin Tucker or Harrison Butker, whoever it is. I think it's going to be a 3-point game. 3.5 just seems like too perfect of a number for it to, go against. So I'm going to take 3-point plus 3.5 for the Chiefs. Not touching the total.
Ladies and gentlemen, here's what I'm going to do Saturday night. I'm going to watch the training montages in all the Rocky movies like 5 times each. I'm going to play In the Air Tonight by Phil Collins a good 15 consecutive times. This is the moment we've all been waiting for. The boy wonder, 2-time MVP, 2-time Super Bowl champ. People are anointing him already on the Mount Rushmore of quarterbacks. Now has to play a player that's just fucking better than he is in his home field. The Ravens are minus 3.5. Yeah, thanks, Vegas. I would have loved it if you'd have made it 2.5, but I don't even need it, okay? The Ravens have the better defense. They have the better offense. They have the better special teams. And I actually like their coach more than Andy Reid right now, giving Mecole Hardman, their 5th best receiver, reverses from the 4-yard line and wanting them to literally just say, here, Buffalo, go win the game. But like I said, and I expertly predicted that Josh Allen, that Bills just can't close the deal. This is the Ravens' moment. This is their game. I like them to win. I like them to cover.
Here's what you're going to want to do this weekend, guys. First of all, let me just say, everyone's already touched on it prior to me, but 3.5 is the worst spread that a gambler wants to see. DraftKings, FanDuel, ESPN Bet, MG, whatever you guys use, they're raking it in this weekend. First of all, two great defenses. So all the people who were betting, Isaiah Pacheco 2+ touchdowns, freaking first half scorer here, second half scorer there. Don't do that if you want to just save your money.
Casuals.
They're the casuals, exactly. They don't understand that the Ravens have one of the best rush and pass defenses that we've ever seen. Like Nickson alluded to, the early 2000s with Ed Reed, Ray Lewis, Terrell Suggs, the GOATs. And, the name power may not be as strong on the Ravens this year, but I mean, Roquan Smith, Kyle Hamilton, Matabuke, like they have some absolute studs when they line up their defense on the field. With that being said, the Ravens are going to win this game, everybody. Lamar, legacy game. He is going to cement himself as, not that he's not a legitimate quarterback. Look, he's going to win MVP regardless, whether or not they win this game or not. So I would take Ravens spread here. I really think for some reason the score is going to be 20-16. So give me the under as well. And Baltimore's in the Super Bowl, baby. Keep on going.
For the last 2 years or so, we've all been reasoning with ourselves of why to bet against the Chiefs in the playoffs. Why each team is it. Like, why they are the ones. And don't get me wrong, the Ravens are my team left. I'm rooting for the Ravens all the way here. I hope they win it all. And I think they have a good shot at winning this game. I really think they do. Like we were talking about earlier with the defense that they have and how good it is and how they do everything so well from not just a scheming perspective, but just all the little fundamental things, tackling hard, going after the ball, not giving anyone really any room to move, which it feels like, I don't know if it's a thing of how good the Chiefs offense can be or how much they turn it up in the playoffs, or if it's just something that teams are kind of afraid and play back and are playing scared. You don't never really see that from the Ravens. They always go for kill shots. They always want to win. They're aggressive. You saw it last game, how right off the bat, that Texans offense, I'm not comparing the Texans to the Chiefs, but that Texans offense, they look scared right off the bat. I mean, first couple plays of the game, they were swarming on that ball. And I think that's the key for Baltimore if they want to win is they're going to need to be all over that ball, eliminate chunk plays. You've got, I mean, like Martin was saying, you've got some good weapons on defense to help cover up those chunk plays. But what Kansas City's bread and butter is, especially in these big playoff games, is getting getting big chunk plays when they need them the most. Third and longs, or kind of backed up. Like they get those plays, especially out to guys like Kelsey. Pacheco's proven himself to be a very solid running back and a big time player. And if the Ravens can cut that off, I like their chances a lot. It's just too hard not to. We've all been proven wrong so many times. It's too hard to go against the Chiefs in the playoffs. I'm not saying the Ravens aren't going to win. And I'm not saying they shouldn't win, and I'm not saying I don't want them to win, because I do want them to win. I do want them to cover. But that being said, it's just at this point, I can't go against the Chiefs with 3.5 points in the bag. So I'm going to play it safe and take that spread. This is going to be one of the more interesting conference championships games because I like the matchup. I think the matchup is very interesting between the two of these programs.
This was tough for me because obviously the Ravens look like the most dominant team in the NFL. The Chiefs had some trouble with the Bills O-line last week, and the Ravens have a way better O-line. The Chiefs, are playing a way better defense. But, man, it's so hard to go against Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes has played in 5 AFC championship games, which is every year he's been a starter. He has a passer rating of 111.7, 1,500 yards, 14 touchdowns, and 2 interceptions. 2 interceptions to 14 touchdowns, 7-to-1 ratio, whatever you want to call it. That's insane. That's insane for the biggest moment of the season. And, after last year, the Eagles probably had one of the top defenses last year. And what was the Super Bowl score? They put up 45. Good defenses don't always scare me against Pat because, he might be the best out there. So, yeah, the Ravens is the best defense, but this is the best quarterback they're going to face too. I think it's tough to go against the Chiefs in this moment. The Ravens have blown out the good teams during the regular season. So then again, they've had a lot of success with great teams.
Not the Steelers, Coby, not the Steelers.
Did I say Steelers?
They didn't blow out the Steelers. Steelers beat them.
Oh yeah. Most of the elite teams they played. But to not take Pat 3.5, I think it's hard. So I'm gonna take them plus 3.5. I don't know for sure they'll win, but I can't see them losing by more than a field goal or 3.5.
Thank you for joining us. One more show left this year. And we've only got one more game left to talk about this year. Who will be in it? We'll find out this weekend. Like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe.
Subscribe and like.